Hi, lovelies. Um, Having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, so I'm just going to pre-record the video for our skills and social night, and then I'll check in and say hi to everybody. If you have been following along with the creative rhythm that we're following, this week is about connection. So Sunday we did our reset, which the rituals were very much about tuning in, letting the feel and the mood kind of guide your actions, more of an intuitive type connection. Whereas tonight we're going to tune in, but we're also going to control the narrative a little bit and then immediately practice like of control. So just stick with me. It'll be a fun 10 minutes, 3 quick rituals, and however long it takes to upload. So we are going to start with picking our favorite song. So normally I would do this with like some sort of lo-fi in the background, or like if we were all hanging out in my backyard, we'd just have, the music playing. We're supposed to pick a song that matches the moment. However, I feel like to start this week, we should get to decide a little bit, set the mood for the moment. So I want you to think about your favorite song. If you need to do the whole close your eyes to focus, just think about the lyrics, how the beat makes you want to move. Just what does that song look like to you? Now, we're not drawing a huge masterpiece, okay? If that song looks like little floaty hearts or smiley faces, if it looks like raindrops, something simple. We are picking out a symbol that aligns with the sound, okay? So we're gonna let ourselves feel the mood as we listen to the music in our head, and then we're going to give it a symbol, okay? So again, not a huge artwork here. A couple quick images, a doodle perhaps. Give yourself a minute or two to really think. Gonna be honest, my favorite song is Satellite by Dave Matthews. So nothing too crazy. My satellite is probably gonna look like a ridiculous antenna, but that means we've got an alien in a little ship. And who is the king of your satellite kingdom? So we need a crown. And of course, drawing space, so I need some stars. You guys know I can't handle having stars in my pictures. Let me get that a little close for you. See that, guys? That's my quick warm-up to a song sketch. That's what I heard. When I think of that song, I see little alien circling space, faking a moon landing or something. But the whole point of that activity is to loosen up. It's a really good one that you can, like I said, pick the song to set the mood. You can get real in depth with it, drawing your mood or song, or like I love pour painting to certain types of music, just keeping that mood going. But the secret is the listening. Okay, you got to pay attention so you can feel it, so that you can express it. So for our next exercise, whatever you have on the desk, we're moving from our hearing, our imagining, our remembering, whatever you use to have a song, to a visual. Okay, so something in front of you, preferably tiny, obviously not your pencil, you're going to need that to draw. Um, I know you guys are not surprised at all when I say I am going to use my coffee mug for this. Okay, so this one is one of my favorite um, get over perfectionism tricks. Okay, and believe it or not, this one does actually build skills very well. So I have my cup, and I'm purposely going to place it just out of the way so that when I am looking at it, I am not able to see my paper. So I'm going to scoot my paper over a little bit further. Okay, so this is called a blind sketch. Not in like you close your eyes and you just, no. You're allowed to look at your object. You're allowed to observe. And you're going to trust your hand to line up with that. So we're going to put our pencil on the paper. We are not looking at the paper. We are not lifting our pencil. We are just taking our object and paying attention, trying to get the outline, the rough shape. We're just connecting to it, okay? This is going to look like crap. And if it doesn't, you have some amazing skills. Please market that. However, 1 minute blind sketch. You got this, okay? So, tiny object. This really sucks because I'm right-handed. But, and we're going to just literally pencil to paper, draw for a minute straight, whatever your object is. So, I know this. I already know this is goofy because I draw these all the time, and this is not how I would. Oh, yeah, you don't want to see that. This is not even close to how I would draw it. Okay, so where am I at? I'm back up at the top. So that's the other thing is you're like following these lines with your eyes, and you're hoping your hand is keeping up, but these lines probably do not align. And that's the whole point. Remember, we're making a mess where we're just creating. We're tuning in for 5 seconds. So this cup probably is not going to feel loved, but I think that's pretty close to 60 seconds. Does that look like a coffee mug to you? Not really. I know what I did wrong though. The handle blended with the cup. They're not separate. My top, instead of being the perfect sphere that it is bubbling over. Kind of sounds like overflowing. And you know what? It's because I fussed about being right-handed. That handle on the right side is all wonky. Cool thing about this image, I knew it was going to be a mess. I actually think it's kind of cool. And it wouldn't be that hard to fix it up because I have a rough draft. It's on the paper. So if I really wanted to, I could fix this. Or I can just enjoy that I already made a crazy looking picture today and draw something that I really want to focus on. Just a little thing to think about for a second. There are options. We just have to start. So for our very last activity tonight, guys, we are going to actually sketch this object that we just wrecked. I personally think that you should do them side by side, not overlapping. If you do them on top of each other, you're fixing instead of creating 2 separate images. I'm actually going to flip my paper over so that I'm not distracted by what I drew, if that makes sense. That whole new perspective, that fresh start. So, like, this is where we're at, guys. We've been out to outer space. We're bubbling over in some sort of weird container. And now we've got a nice blank, fresh start. Okay? I am literally doing this with a pencil and a piece of paper. Quick, easy fun. Okay. So, we're going to take that same object and we're going to observe it a little bit closer. But we're going to observe it. Sorry for the wiggle. We're going to observe it and pick the things that we feel interesting. So this mug is chipped. I think that that is amazing. Um, I really like the shadow over on this one side. And so I'm still sketching this object, but now I'm hyper focused on the parts that bring me joy. And again, we are gonna just give ourselves a minute, 2 minutes. This is not a masterpiece, okay? All right, you've got a minute. You can look at the paper, you can look at the object, but remember, only the parts that you find interesting, that draw you in. And no, I'm not going to ask you to explain it later, but maybe good reflection point for later. All right, so I'm just really going to pick and choose the parts that we're in love with. And we're going to just draw for a minute straight. So what I think is awesome about when you give yourself a creation time limit is that you're kind of reinforcing that you can come back to it later. Like it's not meant to be perfection. All right, guys, 3 seconds. Time. Also not a coffee mug. It is actually the tea bag and the chip in the cup. And here's where the tea is actually sitting currently, because I'm talking instead of drinking. But this is the part of the cup that interests me, the history, the broken but still functional, the mostly full. I think that's a pretty good way to look at life, especially for just a minute. I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. Sorry the social section is all messed up, but this will end up on YouTube since I don't have to worry about privacy or anything. And I will see you guys Sunday for our next ritual and reset. I'm really excited about next week's activities, and I just want to thank you again for being part of the community, and I will see you soon.